Hello, welcome to Mahala Monday. Hope you are doing very, very well. My name is Dugald. Thank you for joining us. As always, she's here.
I'm here. And you know what? I love being here because on a Monday, you'll only find me with Dougal on a Monday night.
Hello, Rhoda. How are you?
I'm good yourself.
I was about to say something about you, and I was like, she's here, and then you just...
I cut him down before he even says anything else.
Cut me down. Yeah. Which is actually funny, like, you know, it was my right to say certain things about you.
It's your right, okay, Dougal, it's your right.
Which is a special reason we're saying that, because it is the 3rd of March. It is the 3rd of March, Monday, as you are watching this. But truth be told, we're recording this a day or two just ahead of time. So we kind of a little back to the future here. We are doing this a pre-record, so this is not a live show this evening. But we still want to see your comments, so please do that. Please add your 10 cents to the conversation. And also, please like and share this. But definitely. Yes, March month is Human Rights Month, isn't it?
It's Human Rights Month, Dougal. So it's celebrated obviously all around the world, but South Africa specifically is one of our bigger events because of exactly our history, where we've come from. So just a quick short of the one. So we in South Africa, human rights in South Africa is historically linked, obviously, to the events that happened in Charlottesville, which was on the 21st of March, guys. In 1960, where 69 Dougal people was killed. 69 people. Remember those people. The 69 people that lost their lives, 180 that was wounded. And this is the reason why on the 21st of March, we as South Africa celebrate Human Rights Day. And for me personally, you can vouch for yourself, it's historical because of the fact of where we've come from and exactly where we're finding ourselves today.
Yeah, so our Human Rights Day is on the 21st of March.
That's right.
That is the day that people will look forward to. And of course, the whole month is really just, and more importantly, even at schools, because it's happening at my son's school as well, and the daughter's school, where that theme carries through the month.
Right,
that they're talking a little bit more about it.
Exactly. And for me personally as well, Dougal, our show we had now last, for me, there's a link on the fact that, you know what, the bullying we spoke about and all of that, it highlights the fact that we need to be acceptable and, you know what, just respect each other at the end of the day. So that theme for me would be so perfect, I think, for schools even to say, you know what, we need to look at bullying, we need to look at discrimination, we need to look at sexism. There's so much to look at. So I think it's brilliant.
No, it is. And it is definitely something for people to look forward to. Now, Rhoda, because I want to ask the viewers this as well. What does human rights mean to you? What exactly does it mean to you? Do you think there's still a lot that needs to be done? Have we covered everything? Wow. Have we evolved? Are there things that we need to incorporate differently or sort of reflect on differently? Because this makes a lot of sense, because this is really how we're going to get forward. And I want to highlight this to you as well, Rhoda, because the preamble in the South African Constitution, okay, which is very important. And as you just said a short moment ago, with that, what happened in Sharpeville, of course, happened really in a dark time in South Africa. But right now it is on the screen where it says, we the people of South Africa recognize the injustices of our past. And this is the opening line, really, in our Constitution. It goes on to say, honor those who have suffered for justice and freedom in our land. Respect those who have worked to build and develop our beautiful country, of course. And this is just the...
Wow.
This is just the opening bits, right? And it's just stemmed out of the basic human rights. And obviously it goes on to say and believe that South Africa belongs to everybody who lives in it, and we are united at our diversity. Wow. And then, of course, it carries
diversity.
On.
Wow.
Yeah. So then, of course, it carries on. But this is it. So when we look at basic human rights, okay, freedom, movement, you know, whatever else there would be with education and all of this. But in terms of the general rule of thumb or general throughout the planet, equality, very important, human dignity, life, freedom and security, individual, freedom of expression. And there's many others that will add to that basic list: to work, to educate, to, you know, healthcare, all of these things. All of these things come to it. So let me ask you this. In terms of all of that, do you think more needs to be done?
personally, Dougal, where we're finding ourselves as South Africans.
And we just from
Are
a
we
South African
concentrating South
perspective,
Africa
let's not, yeah, let's keep the rest of the
let's-
world because let me just be honest. I think the rest of the world, some of the wars and the stuff that's happening, the
Is
human rights is in the toilet over there.
It's totally. And you know what? I'm very proud as a South African because of the fact of where we've come from and how we're an example to so many other countries around the world. And I mean, we're finding ourselves even now, you know what happened obviously with the human rights that for the Palestine people as well, where South Africa stood up. Because you know what, it's like Rasul said, and I saw him in one of his interviews, he basically said that the apartheid that's happening in Palestine, it's like it's on steroids. So where we've come from, we've experienced that, not on steroids necessarily like it is in Palestine, but we are an example of where we've come from and where we're finding ourselves today. That back in the day, you couldn't just live where you wanted to. We had, obviously, I went through it, giving my age away right now, where you were told you can only go to certain schools, you could only live in certain areas, you couldn't become a pilot, you only choices I had as a kid was a teacher or a nurse. That was it. That's professions. Which I had a choice to do, which I didn't choose. Obviously not, as you can see. But that's where we came from, Dougal. Today, I'm living in an area that I could never put my toe into because I would have been locked up. You know what I'm saying? I remember being at school. I mean, when the police would come in, you go hide under your chair because, you know, we had our kids that obviously were the guys that protested, you know, like the 69 had passed away at Sharpsville and the 180 had got injured. Those were the guys obviously stood up. Sorry, guys, I was really one of the scary ones. I stood for it, I believed in it, but you know what? Our guys that really fought for us, the ones that lost their lives, we mustn't forget them, you know? So for me, there's still a lot to be done. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot to be done. If I look at the healthcare in South Africa.
I was going to ask you that because
just looking at that.
Because if you fast forward to today,
Sure.
yeah, we got pit toilets,
Yeah.
right? There are schools without textbooks. Every now and then, ESCOM comes with a wonderful message where they tell you you're going to cut your electricity for 3-4 hours. Government expenses are sky high. Your service delivery isn't there. Some places in the country, water is probably not there.
Exactly.
There's not enough security because there's constantly... Every week, I open a newspaper or read somewhere online, another 1,000 police officers got inducted. But there's never police when you need them. If you phone the ambulance right now, Friday morning, 10 o'clock, if you're lucky. Now, these things in terms of service delivery, these things in terms of having access to services, doesn't fall in that sort of primary scope of the human rights, you know, in terms of freedom of choice and, you know,
Exactly.
right to life and all of these sort of things. It's sort of that second thing. But when your rights don't, when it gets infringed, that's where people get angry.
We get very angry.
Now, on the same side, we're the ones saying, no, we don't have these things. But on the same times, as soon as we don't like foreign nationals being here, we call it xenophobia. We call it a different name. It's amazing how the shoe can flip-flop, yeah? Then we call it a different name because now we're protesting against which we claim people are taking our jobs. People are not taking our jobs. Whoever is here is here. South Africa's borders are open. Whoever wants to be here should be here. You know, provided you get here legally. You gotta
Legally.
You know, we also gotta
was
have
just gonna
our
say that.
systems because when we go somewhere else, we gotta go do
You
it.
have to.
We gotta do it legally. So you know, right is right, and that is just how it be. But it is a country and a home to everybody who should be here, and everybody who wants to contribute to the well-being of the country should be welcome.
Should be.
And this is why I look at it now. Like the rest of the world, there's a huge sections in the rest of the world that's far right. Where far-right factions are coming to the fore. You look at what is happening in the Middle East, even in Africa, where we've got many of our military men and women helping, working with peacekeeping, being there. I listen to a lot of friends and family who've got kids because for most time, people of color and people weren't of color, they all, especially in the 90s, they all fled South Africa. There was a big brain drain, the exodus. People had to go to London. Where you live now? We're living in London, and they're halfway to Australia.
So
And you
true.
hear these people now in New Zealand and stuff, things aren't so
It's
rosy.
not that
It's not so
rosy.
rosy. And it has never been that rosy.
It's never been Dougal.
It was never that rosy to begin with.
It's so true.
And now, yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Whatever your motivation is, it doesn't matter. The point is, when you infringe on somebody's right, and I'm making a lot of points now, when you infringe on somebody's rights is where people get the boring, and let's put it plain and simple, that's where people get the boring. You infringe on people's rights, then there will be a retaliation.
There will be a retaliation. So for me, Dougal, exactly that. You know, just the point is on rights to all of that. I must say, and I agree with you and kind of disagree in a way, that we have been neglected. Our infrastructure is being a bit neglected in certain provinces. Some provinces are doing much better than certain provinces. There, I must say, I have to give that heads off to those that actually trying to make a difference. You know, and I think for us, we in South Africa, I'm praying that this government of national unity can stand together and make those changes, because our previous, obviously, you know, government, we gave them an opportunity. How many years? 31 years? Trying to bring our country up. It didn't work. As far as I'm concerned, a lot of things had happened, but didn't happen according to what should have happened. We're finding ourselves in a position now, like me also, if you're a foreign national and you come into your country, for me it's like this, Dougal. You need to respect that country as well, because you can't come into my country and tell me also what you want to do, because we got rules, regulations. You can't jump a stop street. You need to stop at a stop street. Just because you do it, and even South Africans, I find that some of the South Africans, stop street is a yield sign. It's a stop sign.
The problem is, Rhoda, when you ignore a simple thing like that, right, it becomes almost the norm.
It's exactly that.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly
it becomes the way of life that doesn't happen. And the next rule also gets a little chipped away. The next rule also gets chipped away. Now, all of a sudden, you've got 10 rules, and all of them is just at 70%. Before you know it, we're at 10% with those rules.
Exactly.
And this is why it is important. But, yeah, you were saying with the rights?
I said the infrastructure for me is where I feel the world and South Africa is letting people down. Because why is it that if you have cancer and you go to a government hospital, the chances of you actually dying from a cancer instead of before being treated is very, very good. Because of the fact, obviously, the list is so long that you won't be able to get treated within that time frame that they might give you. So there's a lot that needs to be done on, for me, one of the rights as a human is a right to water. I mean, you have to flush your toilet. If you don't flush your toilet, you can just imagine.
That should be more accessible.
That for me as well, definitely.
Okay.
Contraceptives, as not, we're talking about female condoms necessarily, not just that, Dougal. The fact that ladies, if you need a pill, like you know,
yeah, that's what I was referring to. Sorry.
You know, the one that you basically have.
Yeah, the oral.
The oral one. In most cases, ladies have to pay for this. They have to pay for this. You know, if you want to control your population as a government, then I would, me personally, So you know what? Why must the ladies pay for that? The condoms is in every toilet. Every single toilet got.
But
no
I'm not trying to
condoms.
throw a spanner in the works around it. But I would just think giving pills, there's the thing that it could be misused. But look, what else can you do with a condom other than do what? You can make water balloons. That's it. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Like if you have a condom, you can make water balloons. You can use what it's intended to be used for, which is what you should be using it
Which
for.
you should be using it
or just
for.
make balloons in general. What else can you use it for? But with the pills, because if you do go to the government clinic, you can get it. You know, they give you the pills. Like I'm talking about the oral tablet here. I know there are other forms of contraceptive with injections and all of these, whatever forms part of the family planning scope.
Yeah.
But if we have the pills available, let's just say at the public toilet at a garage, people maybe misuse substances, wouldn't they be now prone to have it? Because it does become difficult. I'm just thinking out of the box here. I think it should be easily accessible.
It should,
fundamentally.
exactly. Not necessarily.
But the practicality, I understand that it is complex.
Exactly. The complex part is having to get them to.
Yeah.
So if there was, at pharmacies especially, you've got pharmacies almost in every community. You always kind of have a pharmacy. Even at the doctor's office, if you need to go see a doctor, if there's just a facility that you don't have to pay.
It's freely available.
It's freely available.
Yeah, okay, I get you.
That's where I'm getting at.
All right.
So, I don't know if there's anybody out there that knows of anybody that overdosed on contraceptives.
Is it possible?
That's what I'm saying. I've never heard of it.
Okay.
So I don't think it's a possibility. It's just going to compromise, obviously, giving birth eventually, mess up your system, obviously, because you know your period's going to probably go bonkers.
No, I'm just saying. You know,
more your hormones at the end of it. I think that's it's dangerous for men.
Because
don't overdose your wife with pills, contraceptive pills, because she's going to be hormonally unstable.
Because I've heard stories about what they call farming parties, where people just bring all sorts of pillages. And then, no, they do.
Are you serious?
You bring whatever your mom's got in the cupboard, and this one brings what their parents have got, the granny's got, or whatever. We all put it together, crush it up, make a mixture, we drink it. And nobody knows what the hell you're drinking.
No way.
For all we know, there could be animal pills in there.
Oh my word.
If you're not, this is
me?
a real thing. It's called farming parties, yeah.
Gee whiz, guys, don't do that, please. I don't think it's very good.
But anyway, so these are...
That's one of
these are the things, okay.
So just quickly on that as well, though.
Yeah.
We're talking male, female now, where discrimination obviously a bit, I feel, also is involved. Is a fact, I know we've discussed this on our show before, the availability of sanitary towels for our ladies.
Yes.
That you can put in a toilet. I'm sorry to say that. And I know you're saying, oh, maybe people's going to take too many. You know what? Then just stock up. Government needs to make sure that they stock up. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to take 10 to take it home because I'd rather make sure I give it to my sister at home as well, then so be it.
So this is it. Because, yes, the practicality in terms of education. So especially for young girls. So if you look at the basic human right in terms of the right to be educated.
Exactly.
That is your right. But if it becomes challenging for you to be there, then that should be, all the obstacles should be taken out of the way. And we know from all the interviews we've done that once that period of the cycle happens, it becomes difficult for girls to attend school, for instance. So that, I agree with you 100%. And also then reliable transport, but just the safety around it.
So true.
The problem that I have that most people, you know, when it comes down to human rights, and I look at everything that is wrong and everything that is right, we can't reinvent the wheel. We've got, even in the most under-resourced areas, communities, we have structures in place. There is transport. There's an uncle or auntie or somebody that will piggyback you or drive you to school. There is that, right? Then we've got these dark elements in terms of gangsterism, drugs, or whatever, because there's no opportunity, so this is what people fall into. So in a lot of ways, we are also our own demise. And when I say we, I'm not talking about the community, I'm talking about government failing us. I'm talking about us failing us. It is a vicious cycle. And I believe, like I've seen, and I've had these encounters where my rights were infringed. Where somebody broke into my house.
Oh, yeah.
Where somebody tried to stab me with a knife. What did I do? I retaliated. I hurt somebody physically.
Yeah.
Now, he's right is in his glory. And this is what happens. This is basically... Recently, I got told a story where somebody tried to break into somebody's house. and the person took a spade and chopped off the fingers.
Oh my Lord.
Like the hands came like that, and then the spade, ding, and he chopped the fingers.
Oh my gosh.
And now this guy can't steal nothing because he can't. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, that's a reality in some other countries, eh? If you steal, they chop your hand off. You know,
so yeah,
it happens.
So there's a lot of rights where we fail each other, and then people infringe it. But you know what? This is a big topic, and
it is massive.
And internationally, it's even worse. If you look at what is happening, what is happening in the rest of the world.
My friend.
Whenever it's weighing up rights. I remember listening to a judge once, and they were giving their judgment. And it was the balancing of the rights, weighing up the rights, which right. No, they all carry vast amount of weight, but it is balancing those rights and the infringing of those rights that tilts them to a certain verdict. And it is extraordinary. It is a very, very difficult thing to do. Internationally, if you look at what is happening, my chummy, the orange friend, the northern western side, he is he infringing by withholding funding from their government to our government or other developing nations? Are they infringing on our rights here?
Yes.
To us, it feels like that as victims, but to these people, he's saving their money.
He's supposed to be saving their money.
Do you know what I mean? The problem is we now dependent on it, and for years you were okay just to give, and now all of a sudden you don't so much want to give. Whatever your reasons is for giving or not giving is behind the point. But now we're not getting. Now there are real consequences, immediate, dire consequences straight away linked to that. Just to satisfy a feeling that you didn't really care about it. What are you going to do with it?
Exactly.
You're going to be able to quantify whatever you say and do something else with it. So there's a lot of things. If you look at what is happening in the Middle East, their human rights is like the unicorn. People have heard of it, but I'm not sure. It doesn't matter on which side of the fence you stand on this. The same with Ukraine and Russia. Come now, man.
Exactly.
This is 2025. This is not 1836 or Stone Ages or Middle Ages, or you just do what the hell you wanted to do. We passed that point. But I want to move on, Rhoda, because I'm going to open this up. This is ideas brought forward from the meeting here for the people in the office in Mahala, and they said, Rhoda and Dugald, talk about this, and we're going to ask you as well. So here we go.
This was a strat meeting we had, guys. We sat around this round table.
You were part of this conversation.
I was part of this
the first time I'm seeing it.
Yeah, I was part of this.
Rhoda knows this, but she's a cheater then, because the first time I see it, I've just folded it there.
The first time Dugald seen it.
You
he
can
hasn't
see that?
seen it.
All
we
right.
gave it to him folded, so he's not aware of what happened at the meeting.
All right, so here we go. You tell us what you think about this as well. Human rights should focus on humanity more so, overall. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Do you think less? Do you think less? I wonder, because now with all this transgender conversations happening, I want to bring this in here. Once you throw that conversation and you choose a side, there's no humanity in that conversation.
There's no humanity at that point. Exactly. So, Dugald, for me, we've changed, we evolved. Humans has evolved through the years.
Yeah.
Just think of it like that.
And things should evolve with it.
Things for me should evolve with it. If your child comes forward and says now that they are they're lesbian or gay, you know, whatever, or queer is one of the words we also now know, then your community should at that point be a bit more open-minded. Does it make sense? So what's happening, and with our orange friend that's happening obviously overseas right now, those rights has been taken away on saying, nope, it's a he and a she and that's it. We don't care. A man must be with a woman and a woman must be with a man and that's it. There is no crossovers or anything like that.
Yeah.
So for me, we need to look at this, re-look and really question yourself. Do you want to go back or do you want to go forward? Because this is the reality. We're living in a world where social media is exposed, it's open.
It is balancing, once again,
How do you balance it?
It's balancing the rights here. I'm not trying to piss on people's batteries or annoy people, but yeah, we all agree. There's female, there's male. If you choose to be Tuesday, Wednesday, one side, Friday, the rest of the week, one side. If you're going to be transgender, if you're going to be intersex, it doesn't. I have no right to tell you what to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why
exactly.
the hell must I care about what you want to do?
It's got nothing to do
What the
with
hell
you.
is it going to do with me? And also for moms and dads, whatever your child tells you, but this is my sexuality today. What? Are you embarrassed? Not going to go well with your chobbies?
With
You're
your
going to be
friends,
embarrassed
family.
at work? When you stand there in front of the company microwave, warming your milk and 2-minute noodles and wheat bix for breakfast, you're going to be embarrassed when they ask, how's Kwasi and Susan? You're going to be embarrassed? Is that it?
Exactly.
The point is, it doesn't matter. It's not your life.
It doesn't matter.
Your role is to give tools to live the best version of themselves in their lives. That's your job. Not to feel crap about what somebody's sexual desires may be or not be. And let's be honest, whatever you identify has not got anything really to do with sex or sexuality, because people immediately jump that way.
Exactly.
It is so much broader than that.
So much broader.
But I think it's a bit primitive for you to judge. I told you the other day this. One friend of mine, his dad wanted to bore the gay out of him.
Exactly.
There's no other way to say this.
Yo, it's crazy.
You know what? I think they talk. Today, this person is highly successful.
There we go.
I don't know if he's going to attend his dad's funeral. I'm just saying.
Yo, that's so sad. Why ruin a family like that?
I'm just saying. But it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But you know what I mean? It is difficult. I understand where people say, because of that, because the world hasn't evolved. Look, there are strong arguments here. Where the argument goes where, if I want to change my gender, if I want to change my physiology. Do I now go and have this done at a government hospital? Does that become my human right? Do you know what I mean? This is where the argument, where people go, wait, because your cancer argument comes in now.
Yeah.
That is most now not, that is a selective surgery. Selective surgery, that's once we have bags of money left over, we don't know what to do. Maybe that can come into the conversation. So I understand that, but then there's the activists who's on the forefront who maybe wants that. So it's you know,
it's
you just gotta
situation.
just lower the temperature, bitchy. Just lower the temperature. Anyway, let's move on.
Let's move on.
It's about getting rid of the boxes or classifications. This is what it is.
Exactly
People are human. This is the one thing we agree on. Okay. Understand that you have a right to exist. Whatever you, yes.
Definitely.
Women have rights taken away from them.
Yeah. So the discussion there, Dougal, that was happening around the table was basically your abortion laws. You know, you decide your body. You know what I'm saying? You decide as a woman, am I going to have an abortion? I'm not going to have an abortion. Obviously, one of the bigger things which has to be mentioned, and me speaking now from a woman's point of view, and something we have discussed before, the two of us, is the fact that women in power, women being on the forefront. There are orange men on the other side of the world basically got rid of a lady that was working at in the military department. Why? Because she was a woman. He got rid of her. He got rid of another black gentleman as well. And what did he do? He put 2 white males in those positions. One of the males he put in those positions couldn't fill the criteria for that role. He wasn't qualified. You know. So my point exactly is this is what happens on a regular basis. The discrimination, and specifically amongst women. If you look at your stats, I mean, our sports is a classic example of our rugby even. Our rugby gents is using their rugby as their profession. They get paid for that. Our lady rugby players still have to go grind, they still have to go work, and then still be international. This is when I'm talking about a thin line. I myself experienced it within the corporate world when I was working still for so-called city council back in the day. Discrimination on another level, you know, as a woman. Because our salaries was never ever the same. So this for me, where that one comes in, right? Women have rights to, you know, taken away from them. You need to be looked at, can I do the job? That's it. It's not a case of because I'm a woman, oh, you're going to fall pregnant, oh, she's going to have a baby, she's going to be 9 months pregnant, oh, she's going to be off for 4 or 5 months. In today, men also get basically paternity leave. You know what I'm saying? So why are you discriminating against a woman Because now you as a woman say,
Yeah.
mustn't I have a baby, mustn't I have a baby, not have a baby, because automatically my manager is going to look at me and say I'm incompetent as a mother. You know what I'm saying? So as a woman, I won't be able to fulfill the role. That's the type of thing that me personally, when we sat here and we discussed it, was a woman's rights in the workplace as well.
Right.
You know, and abortion, obviously. Having the right to say, you know what, it's my body, my decision, I have to deal with it for the rest of my life, you know. Don't want somebody else to decide it for me.
And then the last one, Rhoda, is that the invitation from the US president for white South African refugees to come to America.
Was a very interesting topic.
People, color refugees are being deported. Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about that. That's just like...
It was one of the topics.
Yeah. If you feel as a... Anyway, if you think you need asylum out of South Africa because you're a refugee, because
you're a refugee,
or whatever, just it's okay.
First, go and read up what the refugee means.
You do you, boo. You do you. I'm not even going to entertain that conversation. That is just.
Believe me, it was one of the long topics that actually was discussed around the table as well.
Yeah.
Regarding
I don't always say. Even the idiotic conversation I would have, but I'm just. It's okay. I'm just
not
okay.
interested.
I'm
saying that if you want to go, get your passport ready, and you know what, feel free if you feel.
I've had chicken. I've licked chicken bones before. I'm not going to do it now. Anyway, 24th of March, we're going to be talking to Deborah Chambers just to look forward to what is still coming your way. 4th of March, we're talking to Deborah Chambers.
That's right, that's right. And she basically, at the age of 53, people thought I wasn't going to give my age, but kind of that is my vicinity more or less. She became a model, Dugald. She became a model. So it's not too late for me. Look at that. Look at that.
Doesn't mean you're going to be there she is, yes. Are you going to be a model now as well, Rhoda?
Oh, my word, I'm really thinking of it. So, 24th of March, we'll be chatting to this interesting lady. You know what? It's all about diversity, changes, accepting yourself. You know what? I think it's a perfect topic for our month of human rights. You know what I'm saying? You must never think you're too old.
Yeah. So we're going to be chatting to her. We're going to be chatting to her on the 24th, which is great. And of course, we've got a lot of other shows as well coming your way.
There'll be a lot of other shows as well.
With some interesting guests, and we'll always keep you in the loop. But for now, that wraps it up from us.
That wraps it up for us, Dugald.
Thank you very much for watching and of course, indulging. Please like this and definitely share it. Yes. And we will see you very, very soon in the next broadcast with Mahala Monday. From myself, Dugald and Rhoda. Bye, everybody.
Bye.